Hey guys, I hope last month's video was really helpful for you guys, and that you looked around in our ministry and in our church and looked for ways that you can make it better to ensure that we're ministering and glorifying God as fully and effectively as possible. I wanted to share a story with you this month from when I was in college. Amanda and I worked at a special needs camp down in Northeast Georgia, and it was just a wonderful time in our lives of learning what it meant to minister to those with developmental and physical disabilities. And it was so much fun. And a part of working at this camp was every summer we went down to the Dominican Republic, and we served with a special needs school that was down there to provide them a week of summer camp. And this was a blast. If you thought some of your special needs ministry experience was difficult, just multiply the difficulty by not speaking the language or being able to communicate with any camper that we had. But it was so much fun. They were all lively. They loved life, and they just really showed us a good time when we were down there putting on camp for them. So we met a lot of people through this camp, and some of the campers were higher functioning, and added me on Facebook when we got back to the States. And so you'd kind of see pictures from things they were doing. They'd upload from their phones or when they were hanging out with their friends. And so it was fun to kind of keep up with them. There was one student in particular that would constantly message me. And to this day, just last night, I got another message from him. And every time he says, hola, and I say hola back. And he says, ¿Cómo estás? I say, bien, ¿cómo estás? And he goes, bien. Hey, how are you? Good, how are you? Good. That's the end of our conversation. I don't speak any more Spanish than that, and he knows no English. So that's the extent of our conversation. I know a missionary down in the town he lives in, and I was talking to them a while back, and he said, hey, I ran into this camper the other day that you had when you were down here, and he was proudly proclaiming, yeah, I talk to Jordan almost every day. And it's a funny story of a way that I invested in this person's life, and it was minuscule. Again, not even two sentences, a few words of Spanish that I knew. I invested in this person's life, and they were so proud that they were messaging me on Facebook, and they were so proud that they were communicating. And what I did in the moments where it seemed insignificant and like it didn't matter, I was able to minister to this student in a way that made a profound impact on his life. And I look at how we minister to our students here at First Church, and I look and I try and find ways, how can I minister in those tiny little ways that may seem insignificant to us? How can I minister in a way that changes their world, that fulfills the desires that they have? How can I point them to Jesus in a way that helps them understand that they're loved and they're created in the image of God, and that they have people around them who care for them and who are concerned deeply for them? So I want you to look for the little ways that you can invest in people over the course of this next month, and look for the ways that you can use what God's given you, no matter how big or small the action might seem, to the person that you're investing in, the person that you're caring for. It could be incalculable, the difference that you can make when you do this. I think of the parable of the talents that Jesus told. He gave some to everyone, and it was varying amounts that he gave to these different people. Some he gave a lot, some he gave not very much, but they were required to do something with it. And we see the rebuke that the person who got the smallest, the rebuke that they get, because they went and they buried what they had and they did nothing with it. We have been given a gift from Jesus. We have hope from Jesus, and we have the opportunity week after week to invest in adults and children with developmental disabilities. And so my challenge for you is, no matter how small the action might seem, look for ways you can invest in their life so that they might know that they're cared for and they're loved and they're thought about. Who is the student that I had message me on Facebook? Who is that person in your life that you can show just a minuscule amount of attention and love and compassion towards, that you can change their world? So I hope you guys have a great month. Continue to serve faithfully and effectively. You guys are doing an awesome job, and I am so thankful for you.